exhibition on some important theme in American culture. They then offer that to us, the State Humanities Councils, and we then invite small community organizations around the state to apply to host these exhibitions. We usually select 6 or 7, and each organization hosts it for about 5 or 6 weeks each. And we have the privilege and the pleasure of working with all of these organizations. Usually we start about a year before the exhibit actually begins touring, and so we get to work together over time. As the local host organizations develop companion exhibitions and public programs that link the subject matter of the Smithsonian exhibitions with their own local history and culture. And for me, at least, that's really the highlight. To see what kinds of local exhibits and programs are catalyzed by these Smithsonian exhibitions. Aaron and Jason have done a tremendous job, and everyone here at the Hub, with the companion exhibit about the history of arts organizations here in Schuyler County. I mean, I'm eager to take a closer look.
Moms is first and foremost among that. We've been running this exhibit for goodness knows. Matt will give you a little bit of history on that. But it's really a highlight and part of our mission to make sure that outstanding arts and cultural programming is accessible to everybody, no matter where you live, no matter who you are. And we are fortunate to get to partner with amazing organizations like the Hub, like our next stop in Durand. And we're fortunate to have other partners here. So it's really just a beautiful example of this community and what's possible. So we're so happy to.
It can't technically recognize it. It has to have
that is amazing.
I founded the Hub about 7 years ago, 8 years ago, something like that. And we've been in this building for 6 years, 6 years in September. We were very, very grateful to get a large donation from an anonymous donor to purchase the building and refurbish it, make the bathroom handicapped accessible, and buy our kiln, all of it. Like they said, make a wish list, and we made a wish list, and they funded us. So without them, and they've funded a lot of other organizations throughout Schuyler County. So it's pretty amazing the things that the one anonymous donor has done for Rushville. But I just kind of came up with this with a group of our friends, and I ran with it. And this is kind of what it's become.
Ready? Okay. Hosting Spark has been incredible to our entire community. We really have appreciated all of the time and effort that went into it, but also it's been great watching people interact and watching them really be inspired by the stories that they're learning about. We expect to get some real community involvement and hopefully really bring a spark to our community of that innovation to be able to grow and continue to bring people into our community.
have to die. Young kids don't have to move away in order to, to grow and be part of a culture. So that part is something I really like a lot about it. Because again, I have kids that are in that age of what are we going to do next, and so for them to see this and to feel all this as a community is great.
I love the example of Hillsborough, where they talk about first we're going to have, broadband internet for everybody in the community. Then we're going to reformulate the taxes so money comes back to redevelop ourselves. And it was 3 simple steps that they took, and I thought, wow. And right there is a very simple formula for making this work. But the entire focus of this was completely different from what I anticipated, and I found it really, really interesting.
One of the things Linda Smith wants to do is propose first see how this logic of center and periphery and the power differential between that is recreated in what's around you. And then 2, think about what fundamentally different geometries can you imagine for communication or power structures, which for Dr. Smith is really grounded in their own indigenous traditions and knowledge keepings. That's really interesting to me too, is how, when you say places, it's how is Rushville not a periphery to someone? Or what would it mean to have more places be centers? Or better yet, what would it mean to stop thinking about centers and peripheries and think about just place differently?
A little thing, and it's probably gonna have a little bit of spice to it, and maybe a lot of technology. But then I thought, well, the world is kind of losing its flavor the more the farther that technology goes.
Yep.
And